wait for a couple other folks to attend and we'll get started. Just for everybody's well-being, we are recording this live to share with media and the public afterwards. Okay, it is 11:01. Let's get this party started. So thank you all for being here today, celebrating the new opportunity for residential, business, and agricultural customers in 9 communities across the Central Coast, which represent the cities of Arroyo Grande, Delray Oaks, Grover Beach, Guadalupe, Pismo Beach, Paso Robles, Solvang, and the county of Santa Barbara, as well as the city of Santa Maria. We are also commemorating the fact that we'll be also launching service in South Santa Barbara County, Goleta, and Carpinteria in October of 2021. So this is a kickoff of a year-long enrollment across the Central Coast. The great thing about today is we are commemorating choice in electricity providers with Central Coast Community Energy, or 3CE. We'd like to acknowledge the effort and dedication by each city and county leader to bring the benefits that 3CE has to offer to their communities, as well as the hundreds and hundreds of community advocates, businesses that helped advocate at their city and county meetings throughout the year of 2019. It really was a monumental effort across the Central Coast to bring this forward. So we appreciate everybody's leadership. Today, we are celebrating clean energy and local control for the Central Coast. My name is Jared Killigrew, and I'm the Director of Communications and Outreach at Central Coast Community Energy. And I'm honored to be here with all of you virtually to celebrate the kickoff of unifying the Central Coast with choice and community investment for over 100,000 customers, allowing us to now serve over 400,000 customers from Santa Cruz down to Santa Barbara County. Definitely the most beautiful and dynamic service area in all of California. At this moment, I want to hand the mic over to Shelley Whitworth, our amazing senior energy media specialist, to share a few words before we kick things off. Shelley?
Great, thank you, JR. Hi, everyone. As JR mentioned, thank you for being here today to commemorate the launch of service for 9 new communities as part of our larger enrollment in 2021. 3CE is committed to a successful enrollment, allowing the highest level of education and outreach to ensure all customers are able to leverage opportunities throughout the Central Coast. 3CE has been thoroughly answering questions, delivering presentations, and engaging with a multitude of stakeholders. This event today gives us the chance to help usher in our agency's role in unifying the Central Coast through clean energy and local choice. Our communities have all endured a lot and have demonstrated resiliency throughout the last year, and we thank you for all you do. Central Coast Community Energy is a proud contributor to economic, environmental, and energy resiliency for all the communities we now serve. Thanks again for being here. It's great to switch gears and celebrate this monumental occasion with you. And with that, I send it back to JR to introduce today's speakers.
Great, thanks so much, Shelley. And we do have an amazing lineup of incredible leaders across the Central Coast. Our first speaker is the individual who is responsible for launching what was Monterey Bay Community Power, the first Tri-County Community Choice Energy Agency, and has been able to kind of shepherd it forward to now Central Coast Community Energy, which comprises 4 counties and 29 cities across the Central Coast. Our very own policy board chair and Santa Cruz County Supervisor, the one, the only, Bruce McPherson.
Thank you. Thank you, JR, for that warm introduction. And I want to thank so many people who have worked so hard for a long time now, 8 years, to get us where we are today. This effort began shortly after I was elected county supervisor in Santa Cruz in 2012, and we started our effort in 2013 thinking it would include Santa Cruz County and its 4 cities. But having the honor of serving in the California State Senate and representing a broader region, I said, let's expand this to 3 counties, including San Benito and Monterey. And so all of a sudden it became Monterey Bay Community Power. And now we are seeing the communities in San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara who have also seen the value to lead a unified Central Coast program. This is geographically the largest community choice energy agency in California. And we think that with the climate that we have, it really fits well that we spread down to Santa Barbara County as well as San Luis. This expansion increases our impact in terms of driving value of our communities, in terms of clean energy, local control, and reduced cost. Since we launched in 2018, and it took us 4 years to get to the point of launching, it was a lot of work. We've accomplished so much in a short time. We've delivered $49.5 million in total customer savings to date, part of which was $24 million in customer financial relief in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We've provided our customers with access to more than $12 million in energy program funding. We have a momentous step now, serving over 400,000 customers strong throughout the beautiful Central Coast, from Santa Cruz County to Santa Barbara County. And more recently, in the fall of 2020, we received the first A rating of any CCE from S&P Global, signifying our strong financial strength. This rating will allow 3CE the opportunity to accelerate the adaptation to greenhouse gas reducing renewable energy, energy storage, and create innovative local energy programs. We are committed to a new goal of reaching 100% renewable energy through new projects by 2030. That's a full 15 years ahead of California's energy goals in this regard. This expansion today really accelerates the environmental and economic community benefits to the Central Coast community energy that it will have to offer each and every one of our community agencies that it serves. We are 33 strong, and we are the best, I believe, in California and any similar agency throughout the United States of America. So congratulations to everyone who is included, and thank you to everyone who spent so much time and dedicated their efforts to making this a more environmentally friendly, economically sustainable, and just a great program that we can offer our 400,000 customers throughout the Central Coast. It's my pleasure to have served as your policy board chair, and I look forward to bigger and better things in the future. We will do more. We've done a lot, and thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you so much, Supervisor McPherson. What a wonderful way to start off today's commemoration. Our next speaker does have an unwavering dedication to transparency and accountability, not just optics, supporting clean energy and reducing carbon emissions. As the County of Santa Barbara Supervisor, I'd like to welcome Supervisor Das Williams to the virtual mic. Take it away, Das.
Thank you. It's an honor to be able to speak today, and I first want to thank Bruce McPherson for his bipartisan leadership on clean energy. To give you an idea how much of a legend Bruce is, when I was first a little itty bitty legislative staffer, Bruce was already in the legislature, already bucking national trends in bringing people from both sides of the aisle together. And that, I think, has infected the way that we do business at Central Coast Community Energy. It is cooperative. It is bringing decision-making about energy closer to the people. One recent example is we just had a public forum, especially for people from San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties that will soon be part of the service area, where we had 80 questions answered and a great discussion about where the organization was going from there, because there was an enormous number of people from areas that attended that wanted to be a part of Central Coast Community Energy. The County of Santa Barbara and all counties have an important role now more than ever because of the COVID economy in driving the search for living wage jobs. family wage jobs. And it has been my dream for some time that some of the prosperity that has taken place in clean energy jobs in the 6 counties of the Bay Area would start filtering southward. This has been a tremendous economic boom for those areas, but we need to find a vehicle to help bring it locally. And Central Coast Community Energy may be a big part of making that happen. Why? Because we, with its leadership, we might have the dream of having some local clean energy sources of significant size. That dream might become a reality. And surely they have already brought some of those facilities and contracts closer to the service area, territory, and definitely closer to the decision-making of our local community. I'm proud of 3CE's new commitment to 100% clean and renewable energy by 2030, 15 years ahead of the state's goals, and in practice, done in a way that is far more substantive than many other community choice aggregators and even other utilities. This kind of investment could drive billions in reliable clean energy technology and job creation, new renewable and energy storage projects here in California, and while achieving this goal in a cost competitive way, while improving energy resilience and reliability in California. Because that's the other big holy grail to our area. We are at the end of each cable network of transmission lines, and that means that we are vulnerable to natural disasters. So local energy supplies also increases not just our ability to have cleaner energy, but our ability to have more reliable energy sources. And let's not forget the moral dimension of all of this. Climate change is an existential threat to our communities. We locally see an ever increasing amount of sundowner winds and the fires associated with that that are associated with climate change. But of course, other places in the globe see even worse problems from it. We all have the moral duty to do something about it. And this effort will be the largest effort to reduce greenhouse gas emissions locally, and it will have the added benefit of cleaning the air and water through electrification programs for residents and businesses in our community. I am excited to participate both on the policy board and the executive board, representing both the North and South counties in our effort to make a better energy future for us all and for the region.
Wonderful.
And with that, I want to bring it back to JR, who's our lovely MC.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Williams. Apologies for cutting you off at your last second. Those were wonderful comments. Our next speaker knows the value of local control, the importance of providing choice to her constituents. As the city of Santa Maria's mayor, which is one of the largest cities that we serve, as well as one of the most diverse and dynamic, the city of Santa Maria is really an incredible place. It has incredible people, and it has an incredible leadership, especially with Mayor Patino. So I'd like to welcome Mayor Alice Patino, who serves on our policy board as well, to the mic. Mayor Patino, you're on mute.
I am sorry. I said that was a flowery introduction. I'd like to have that in writing. You know, it seems like not so long ago, I was in San Luis Obispo and I was watching Mayor Harmon flip the switch. And that was without masks. In fact, I can still remember what she was wearing. And here we are now in Santa Maria and through the region to welcome 3CE, the Central Coast Community Energy. 3CE will be offering a choice to our residents of how and where their energy is sourced, which is really important to us in government. And as a region, we support the clean and renewable energy and certainly want energy resiliency. That's one thing I'm sure we can all vote yes on, that we can have our lights on and not have to run for a candle and a match. I don't know if any of us even have matches or candles in our home, maybe birthday candles. And you know what, as a community and as a city, we know the importance of competitiveness, competitive rates, and the savings. And we'll be able to bring that to our city. We are like any other city, we're in the customer service business. And we want to be able to satisfy our residents in Santa Maria. And it really fits into our mission statement, which I will read to you. To provide the highest quality of service in the most efficient, cost-effective, and courteous manner possible. And I thank you very much. It's a privilege to serve on this board. I am certainly learning a lot and being very well educated. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Patino, and thanks again for your participation today and your engagement on our policy board. Our final speaker represents local economic development by creating jobs and promoting businesses throughout the region in San Luis Obispo, as well as the Central Coast. She's an advocate for accelerating all sorts of economic and renewable energy opportunities in San Luis Obispo, as well as the region. So I'd like to invite Ms. Maria Kelly, the Economic Vitality Corporation's Executive Director, to the mic.
Thank you, JR. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I feel so honored to be in this great presence of all of you. Thank you for having me. So excited about this flipping the switch of the economic benefits to the businesses, to our local community. I'm a huge fan of renewable energy, clean energy, wanting more of it in our region for a very long time. So super excited that we're bringing it locally as much as we can. One of the greatest things about this type of sustainability, about community choice, and being able to do this all together, is that it truly benefits everyone in the community. This doesn't parcel out one member or favor one member of the community over other. It truly does serve underserved, our rural community. We're a very kind of a mixed urban, mixed rural. It serves everyone. And it's a great way to sort of overcome those hurdles of people's access to sustainable energy. And community choice energy, just by design, benefits the entire community, which my passion is community and community benefits, so this is just right in alignment with my values. Economic benefits for residents, businesses, the agricultural community. Again, we're so rural. It's difficult to access and it's very costly for an individual, but at doing it collectively, it's the answer. Our customers will support the acceleration of sort of the new California-based renewable resources. Will benefit from the acceleration of that by community choice. All the customers will have access and be able to enjoy the program funding, all the additional things that 3C has agreed to do for our communities. We are extremely excited about the green jobs opportunities here on the Central Coast for sure. All our customers, like I mentioned, the farming, the percentage of the funds going to our programs. One of the things we've been talking about from an economic development standpoint is the need for clean charging stations. We rely on tourists. We rely on tourism. Our tourists are going to start driving EV vehicles and they need to be able to charge up. So super excited about that opportunity, including any of the transitions to our busing systems and agriculture, electrical agriculture implements. So all of it is just extremely exciting for us. These programs will help clean our air, our water, all while saving the residents and businesses money. That's the goal. One of my personal goals of supporting this as well is how do we save money for our businesses and our residents and people, and 3C has agreed to do that. So very, very excited. And the energy programs bring a great value to our underserved population. Somebody who may not be able to invest in a personal type of sustainable energy, solar panels or something. So it's just a really equitable way to approach green energy. So we're very excited about it. It's a way to tie the economic. It's really the three pillars. It's the economics, it's the environmental benefits. It's not exclusive. And San Luis Obispo County is just so thrilled, or the portion of us that are lighting up are so thrilled to be a part of this today. So thank you very much for letting me speak, and I'll turn it back to JR.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Kelly. And thanks to all the speakers, Supervisor McPherson, Supervisor Williams, Mayor Patino, and Ms. Kelly, for sharing your thoughts today on this momentous development for the Central Coast. It really, truly is a wonderful day to flip the switch, even if we are in the virtual environment. So now is the time everybody's been waiting for. Now is the time for us to celebrate in flipping the switch, which signifies clean energy, local control, and choice now throughout the Central Coast. And to do the honors today, we have none other than Central Coast Community Energy CEO, Tom Abashi. So please join us in symbolically flipping the switch. So how about we do a countdown from 5, okay? All right. 5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
3,
2,
2,
2,
flip.
1.
1.
1.
Hey.
Reminiscent of San Luis Obispo, and it looks great. Let the bright lights shine. That's great.
It's making quite a bit of noise too. I just want to say a couple of things. Now and that's a little quieter. Just to culminate this event, I want to thank a couple of people. I want to start with Supervisor McPherson for his leadership. I remember when I told him one day that now that we have San Luis Obispo and Morro Bay are part of our agency, we were thinking about going and talking to the rest of the cities down in San Luis Obispo. And he not only said yes, he actually said, well, when do I get in a car with you and drive down there to talk to the supervisors at the county to see if we can bring the rest of the communities down in San Luis Obispo. That has been pretty much the hallmark for Mr. McPherson from day one. He is not only the leader of this agency, he is the best spokesperson that we've had, and he brags about us all the time. And I don't get enough time to brag back about him, but this is one of those days. So thank you, Bruce. Appreciate your leadership every day. I also want to thank Das Williams, who was not only instrumental of bringing the county of Santa Barbara, but he also gave the signal to all the other 6 cities from the county to join us. They all pretty much were waiting for that signal coming from the county, and once they received it, they came in one after the other. So Das, thank you. Looking forward to having you on the board for a very long time to come. And finally, I can't say enough about JR. He's the one that went out there day in and day out for days on end to bring in everybody, and given his ability to actually talk people into things, he just managed to bring all the cities down from Santa Barbara as well as San Luis Obispo. Now we have 33 jurisdictions of the total 37 jurisdictions in the 5 counties. And I think that's a wonderful thing to have. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be leading this agency. I want to thank you all for being here today. And what's next, JR? Thank you so much, Tom, for those wonderful words. So thank you in joining in today's celebration. This really does commemorate a tremendous amount of work that was been done through Tom's leadership, through Supervisor McPherson's leadership. So we really just want to commemorate and applaud everyone who helped bring this to fruition. So at this time, we'd certainly like to open it up to questions from the media. If you have questions, please raise your hand and Shelley can help facilitate that. So we're happy to answer any questions now from the media.
No hands raised here, JR, but I have a couple requests for interviews following the event.
Okay.
Oh, someone's raised their hand. There you go, Peter.
Hey everyone, thanks for taking my question. This is Peter Johnson from the New Times in San Luis Obispo. I just wanted to ask really quick if someone could touch on sort of the main benefits of having a bigger region for C3E or 3CE as an organization.
Thanks, Peter. This is J.R. Killigrew. That's a great question. I think the agency has expanded significantly, but what it does is it brings a unification to the Central Coast that actually has a very similar economic and demographic makeup. So a lot of the issues that are occurring maybe in Santa Barbara or San Luis Obispo, maybe issues happening similar in San Benito, Santa Cruz, or Monterey County. And the Central Coast is a kind of unanimous brand, a unanimous region that everybody knows and is aware of, especially with the tourism and hospitality industry, the mega industry of agriculture. You know, there's government, there's education, there's healthcare. So a lot of these similar economic sectors kind of run throughout the region. And ultimately, by expanding and providing these opportunities for San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara, it actually brings our collective buying power even more, it makes it even more impactful for us to go out and source energy on behalf of our customers, driving those competitive rates. But also the Central Coast has a very similar kind of climate imperative in terms of reducing greenhouse gas emissions, whether it's through the built environment or the transportation sectors. So this agency really kind of is seen as a catalyst to help kind of drive economic opportunities across the Central Coast, be a facilitator for best practices, but then also really drive meaningful reduction of greenhouse gas emissions from the grid through our greater buying power. So effectively, those are a lot of the benefits that come forth. And then last but certainly not least, providing competitive rates to all customers. That is the one thing that this agency has stood up since day one. And we really feel like customers in Santa Maria or Solvang or unincorporated Santa Barbara County should have the access to those same competitive rates as the customers up in San Benito, Santa Cruz, or Monterey County do right now.
Peter, I think I know your readers are concerned about the moral dimension that JR just mentioned, and the economies of scale allow us to move away from what I would characterize as more symbolic or greenwashing elements of energy procurement, like renewable energy credits or carbon-free attributes, and towards more investment in substantive long-term contracts for renewable energy, and even to building some facilities ourselves. The larger service territory also makes the dream of having local procurement, meaning within the service territory, more possible. I think, and that's both the moral dimension and the jobs dimension. And I also just want to take a moment to also thank all the grassroots organizations, both in San Luis Obispo County and Santa Barbara County, that have supported this effort. It's part of us being close to the people, and it's emblematic in Santa Barbara County of the work of Community Environmental Council.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Peter. Do you have any follow-up questions?
That's all for now. Thank you.
Okay. Garrett Herring's here. He also has a question.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. Had to unmute myself. So I'm Garrett Herring. I'm with S&P Global Market Intelligence, and we're separate from the ratings group that you referenced in your open remarks, Bruce. So I do have a question for the group here, just about the reliability component of your procurement plans, and also your efforts to get to zero carbon already by 2030. As everybody knows, California's had some recent struggles keeping the lights on. How are you planning to help ensure reliable decarbonization as you expand?
Thank you, Garrett. I think this is a very good question. From day one, for every commitment that we made, long-term commitment for power supply, we've made it very clear to the developers and the suppliers out there that if we were to buy either solar or wind, we will do that, but we're going to have to get storage to go with it, because that is the element that brings the reliability that the system needs. In addition, we are now working with a number of community choice aggregators to do long duration storage. Right now, the commercial storage available only discharges in 4 hours, and we still have at least another 6 or 7 hours sometimes of nighttime that we need to have resources for. So we are working with other CCAs to bring in a very large, long duration storage in order to help bring that reliability that you are speaking of. It is definitely essential that we do that. We're also working with the CPUC as well as the other investor-owned utilities on making sure that we have certain rules that will assure that reliability is number one, and that every resource or every commitments that we made is taking us towards ensuring that we're going to have power available 24 hours a day. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for that, Tom. When I do follow up, when you look at, you mentioned long duration storage, and I know you've got an RFP out there. Curious if you have any updates on that, and maybe what technology you see as really having an opportunity to provide that long duration storage, and also by long duration, are you talking about days of storage, weeks of storage, seasons?
8 hours or more. That's that we are talking about. 8 hours discharge of 8 hours or more. We've got a number of technologies that were proposed, and we're looking at all of them. The one that's readily available, tried and true, is the lithium ion with the 8 hours of discharge. That is the one that we are seeing so far top in the list as far as the economics are concerned. But we see in other technologies that are very close, and we are more likely than not will eventually work with more than one developer, and we will try to bring other technologies beyond the lithium ion batteries in order to kind of facilitate the future for those new technologies, which are probably a little more expensive today, but in the future, most likely, once you do a lot more of them, they will become more commercialized, and they will come down in price, and eventually will become the dominant storage facilities in the future.
And Garrett, yesterday in our operations board, we actually do have a summary look through the list of the presentations of what technology. So as Tom mentioned, lithium ion was number one, but there was also compressed air, thermal storage, chemical flow storage, fuel cell, pumped hydro, mechanical, and then a form of hybrid storage. So we can send you that link so you have that information.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. You mentioned prices, Tom, and this will be my last follow-up here of storage, and you're looking at how the different technologies compare. What's your latest assessment of what you're seeing out there in the lithium-ion landscape in terms of pricing?
I think obviously the pricing differ depending on the discharge period, whether it's 2 hours or 2.5 or 4 or 8. The prices do differ. What we are hoping for that next year will bring in some agreement, or at least a push from Congress to give tax incentives to standalone storage technology. Right now, we only get tax incentives if you place the storage with the solar at the same location. And we're trying to push for to get that incentive to happen if you do standalone storage. That's going to be very important for us in the future if we want to bring the price of storage down and therefore bring reliability up. So now with the change in administration, there's a good likelihood we'll be able to succeed in getting that price break. So I'm certainly hopeful that we will be able to see not just the lithium ion storage facilities getting a little cheaper, but that all the other storage opportunities that GR just spoke of will become a little cheaper. We just need the incentives necessary in order to bring the price of the storage down slightly.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Thanks for being here today, Garrett.
Thanks for having me.
Well, one question just to throw out there to the audience before we wrap up is what is happening this month? So just for everybody, and so this month there are about 100,000 customers that are going to be virtually transitioned over their meter read date, so that that transition will happen in the back end in partnership with PG&E. And then in February, when you will normally receive your bill for January charges, the 3PE charges. So we end up replacing the PG&E charges. You actually get a credit to make sure that you're not being charged twice for it. And that you will be able to see on your bill in February. We do provide a 2% discount off our rate, which actually provides that competition that Mayor Patino was talking about. But the great thing is that we have an incredible outreach team that's hosting, I believe, 8 or 9 different virtual discussions and lunch and learns, as well as office hours, both in English and Spanish over the next month. So we've greatly appreciated the partnership with our enrolling cities and counties to get the word out about that. So we'll certainly would like to direct you to our 2021 enrollment webpage, where you can learn all about those great events that are coming up. And at that time, we can conclude today's presentation, today's Flip the Switch event. It's been a monumental task to bring this agency to fruition, starting from where Bruce did back in 2013, to launching the agency in 2018 with commercial and agricultural customers in March.
JR, your audio is pretty low.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. So just in summary, I did want to mention that today is this month is the virtual transition month. Over 100,000 customers will be transitioned through their meter read date. You will see our charges next month, and we do apply a 2% discount off our rate to drive that competition for our customer base across the Central Coast. Please check out our webpage, 2021 enrollment. We have a variety of different virtual meetings that are happening, especially 2 public forums on February 9th and 11th, as well as lunch and learns focused for the cities of Paso Robles on the 27th of January, and then a lunch and learn for the South County of Arroyo Grande, Grover Beach, and Pismo Beach on the 4th. On that note, I just wanted to recall or just reflect on Supervisor McPherson's leadership, getting this agency up and kind of as an idea back in 2013 to launching in service in Monterey Bay region in 2018. And here we are now launching for another 100,000 customers across the entire Central Coast. So a big applause for everybody around the room, also as well as everybody throughout the Central Coast who has bring this to fruition. So we again appreciate Supervisor McPherson's participation today, Supervisor Williams, Mayor Patino, Ms. Kelly, as well as our tremendous leader, our CEO, Tom Abashi. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Flip the Switch event. We're sorry we can't be in person today, but we still wanted to commemorate this momentous day. So thank you so much to everyone who joined us, and Happy New Year, and we look forward to accomplishing great things together.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.